Hello and welcome back to the four-part series on how to utilize your 2024 lunar calendar. I'm Shannon Murray of Lunar Ladies, and I'm excited to take you into the next phase of the full moon phase of the lunar cycle. So without hesitation, let's get started. But first, did you download and get your free 2024 lunar calendar? If not, check the description box below so you can find the link, go get your lunar calendar, and then come on back and learn how to use it. All righty. Here we go. So let's share our screen and we'll go into understanding what does the full moon, the week of the full moon and leading into the disseminating phase mean for us. Okay, so let's find out. First, let's go to our cheat sheet. Okay, so here we are at the full moon moving into the disseminating phase. So after the full moon, that's when it gets to its biggest and brightest in the sky. It begins the waning cycle of the lunar cycle. Before, from the new moon to the full moon was called the waxing, meaning getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And from the full moon to the balsamic, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's called the waning phase. So this week, we're going to focus on how do we connect to the harvest and fruition of our new moon intentions. We've done all the work in that first quarter phase, and now we're ready to harvest. We're ready to have a party, to celebrate, and to release all this good energy. And then 3 days later, we give our gratitudes and we say, thank you for this amazing experience. I've learned so much. Let me honor myself and the work that I've done already. So the full moon is when the sun and moon are opposite in the sky. So they're going to be in two different lunar cycles. Where the new moon, they were together. The first quarter moon, they were at a 90-degree angle. And in the full moon, they're opposites. And this is when we honor the divine feminine or the maternal mother energy. This is like when the fertilized egg happens. This is about being nourished, fulfilled, expansive. What is really cool about the full moon is in nature, it draws water from deep in the earth up to water root vegetables. And, like those deep rooted things. And so the full moon pulls water. So it's pulling our deep emotions up to the surface. And the surface is where we can see it. And the full moon is that reflected light of the sun. We want to see what's there that maybe we've buried since childhood or repressed or haven't had the tools to look at, or it's just too much. So it's pulling that inner darkness up to be seen. And when we see it, it wants to be healed or acknowledged or honored or set free. And so this is a great time to celebrate that accomplishment of bringing something unconscious and making it conscious. Or I had a dream and I set an intention and I did the work and now I have the fruition of the manifestation. Full moons are great. And when you join my Patreon community and my Facebook group, you'll learn how to celebrate with the full moon. There's so many things you could do that are so empowering for you. You make your own medicine, you make your own tools, you really help yourself out. One of the great things I love to do on a full moon is make full moon paper. So when you join the Patreon community and the Lunar Ladies Facebook group, you'll learn how to make full moon. Okay, 3 days later, the moon starts losing light, it gets smaller, and it goes into the disseminating waning phase. And this is where we focus on what we're grateful for. And we honor our journey. And we begin to start reflecting because now the sun and moon are pushing this outward awareness inward. And what are we going to do with it? How is it going to change us? And this is about be open to your life's lessons. Focus on self-care. And start to see in ways, do I self-sabotage? And if I do, why and how and where is that rooted? Okay, so now let's go into the ritual ideas on how to celebrate these two phases. The full moon, bathe in the moonlight. Hey, let's do that. Fire ceremony, celebrate your wins, join a full moon circle, right? Gather together. Full moons love gatherings and moon loves food. So have a party, have a gathering, have a potluck, go to a potluck. Start thinking along those lines. When the full moon approaches every lunar cycle, what can I do to gather with others? Whether you go attend a party or you throw one yourself. And then the disseminating phase is about, that gratitude journal, or looking outside yourself and going, wow, who inspires me? And I send compliments, be kind, be, giving of something that you could offer to another person that would make them feel good in that moment. It's also the time we clean up after the party. What do I need to start letting go of? What's old and no longer needed anymore as I'm growing and changing? And also, especially with social media, write loving posts during the disseminating moon phase. Like, really focus on sharing something that is uplifting. Okay, let's go ahead and get to our weekly planner. Full moon to disseminating, Monday through Sunday. What you gonna do? First of all, you're gonna find the moon signs of the full moon and the disseminating moon, because you're gonna find that in your own natal chart and look at that house in your chart. That's gonna be an area of your life that you would create these 3 priorities. When you do that, what happens is you're aligning in a more powerful way that then shifts everything in the chart around, and you only really have to focus on 2 signs or 2 houses. Makes life so much easier than trying to figure out the whole thing all at once. No, we just find where's the sweet spot, and that's my specialty. I help you find the sweet spot. And the sweet spot in, like, if you're learning to play music, is like when you hit that chord or you got that melody and it's so perfect and so sweet and it makes everybody swoon. That's what we're doing with your personal astrology. We're finding the sweet spots, and the moon helps us because the moon moves through your chart so fast. It moves all the way around your chart, 360 in one lunar cycle. So you're going to get 13 times for 13 rounds of awareness in 1 year. And the year of the dragon is going to empower you when you do that. So I'm so excited that you're joining me to discover and utilize these tools, and then utilize them and make a great impact in not only your personal world, but in the world around you. Okay, so that's your week of the full moon and the disseminating waning phase moon. Join me in the last video of this 4-part series, and we'll be talking about the 3rd quarter waning phase moving into balsamic. My favorite. See you then.